Tired of applying to remote jobs that are already taken? In this video, I will show you legit companies and platforms that are always hiring, so you can start earning from home without waiting months. Some of them will even pay you $10,000 or more per month. In case you don't know, my name is Michael. I've made money online for years and I share my experiences and the tests I do here on this channel more or less every day. And I really value flexibility and know how frustrating it can be if you're motivated but cannot find any open positions if you are looking for a remote job. And that's why I made this video. Now, of course, not all remote jobs, all the options I will show here are full-time jobs with benefits. Some are freelance jobs, some are more flexible side gigs, and then others are actually companies with recurring remote roles. But the key thing here is that they are open year-round and they don't require you to sit around refreshing job boards or waiting for new listings to pop up. And to make it easy, I've split it into two main categories. I have a list of some platforms where you can sign up and start working almost immediately, and then I have a list of some companies that are frequently hiring for remote roles on ongoing basis. And in total, I will show you 10 different options. It's not as such a prioritized list because which of the options are the best really depends on your personal preferences. But let's start with the companies that are frequently hiring for remote, full-time or part-time roles. And then we will go over the more gig-based platform opportunities before I will then share some important tips that can definitely increase your chances of getting hired faster. So the first company is called Outplex, and if you go to the career section there, you can see what they are looking for. In general, it is a company that is very often hiring for remote customer service jobs. And you can see you can even get all kind of extra benefits and opportunities if you end up getting hired. And they even also say it is a global family, so there are chances of finding work from many different places in the world. Next company here is called LiveOps, and here they offer independent contractor phone support jobs. So if you like talking over the phone, providing great customer service, this can be a way to find a flexible job. You can see here that they emphasize on that it gives flexibility, so you can actually just plan around that, so you can become a self-employed that set your own hours and work from anywhere. You can even see here that they show that you can just say what times you are actually available to work. So again, this can definitely give great opportunity. If you like customer support jobs, it's something that can also potentially give you a full-time income. Concentrix is next, and this is a platform where you can find global remote support jobs also. You can see here global, or you can search for specific countries if you just want to see what's available in your country to get a fast overview of the roles you can apply for. And you can see they also have some benefits. If you get hired here, you get paid training there, you get a flexible schedule, it's a global network, and again, it just gives all the benefits of actually working from anywhere. You can just wear whatever you want, you don't have to go to the office, all these different things. Boldly is next. This is a little bit different. This is mainly premium VA roles, like virtual assistant roles. So they are very often hiring, but they also do have quite a lot of requirements. So as you can see here, you for example need at least 7 years of executive assistant experience within your professional industry. So this has some higher requirements, but then you can of course also expect potentially higher salary. But if you do have that experience and just looking for a remote opportunity, then this can definitely be an opportunity. But let's now move to the last of the options to potentially find a part-time or full-time remote job before we go over to the more gig-based, where you can start earning right away without applying for the jobs. FlexJobs is a platform I feel we have to mention when we talk about remote jobs. It is not a specific company you will be applying for here, so you can actually always find flexible jobs or remote work on FlexJobs. It's kind of a job board, but it makes sure to actually vet it, so it's way better than most job boards where there's a ton of scams, because they actually make sure that you only see legit options. And you can go and search, you can use all the filters. You can see, for example of $60,000 yearly for this role there. There's one here that pays more than $100,000 yearly, and one here that you can also see would pay more than $10,000 monthly. So they have some high paying ones because they don't only have entry jobs here, they also have for more experienced people. So no matter your experience, you can actually find remote jobs here that are very well paid. Of course, again, it depends on your skills, your experience and all that, but it's definitely a great place to find remote work. I actually recently published a full video also where I show all about it. I'll leave a link in the top corner so you can check that out. I also have a written review of it on my website. I'll also leave a link to that below if you want to know more about this option here. But let's now talk about these gig-based opportunities you can also use to find work faster, but the earning potential will of course then also be lower. So the first platform I want to talk about when we talk about this gig kind of remote jobs is CrowdGen. Just be aware that all these types of gig jobs is something where you usually can start earning more or less right away, where there's not a long application for process, but then it's also not so consistent. It's not a full-time, part-time job. It's just small tasks you can get once in a while. So whether it's for you or whether the other jobs where it's more consistent, full-time, part-time roles, that's of course depends on your personal preferences. But one option to find small tasks like this is CrowdGen, where you help train AI in different ways and you can then earn. You can see some of the different projects they have here. Some of them pay per task, some of them pay per hour. There are many different types of work you can find here. You can see a list of some of them. Also, many of them are also from different countries. And even some of them are actually full-time jobs, so you can also find that here. I did also a video about it a while ago here. Some people do not like it, some people have good experiences with it. I'll leave a link in the top corner so you can also check that video out. And also, if you have experiences with any of these options yourself, I would love to hear your experience and opinions as well. But let's now move on to the next option. Next option is Telis International, where you can also find all kind of small jobs. Some of them can actually also potentially even be full-time. So this can also be a great place to find. You can see they have for specific locations sometimes, and other times they are more worldwide. Also a great platform to find some remote work. If you are good at grammar, like transcribing, then there are a couple of platforms I want to show you here. One is Rev.com, another one can be TranscribeMe. Transcription jobs is definitely a way to make money also online. Of course, AI has taken over a lot of it, but still humans are needed, and these kind of companies are still looking for people that are great at this. And I also do have a list of the best transcription jobs for beginners on my website. I will leave a link to that below. I also do have a video, actually, a whole playlist where I show, for example, how you can use AI yourself to speed up. For example, a video that is focused on how you can use it for transcription and translation jobs. So I'll leave a link in the top corner so you can check that out also. So the very last platform I wanted to show you before we go over some tips for getting hired is usertesting.com. It's very different from the other options I've mentioned here because this is truly just one-time tasks. Usually user testing, it can be fun. You share your opinion, you record your voice, you record your screen, but usually they also pay quite well. It's often somewhere between $10 and $50 for something that takes also 10 to 45 minutes or something like that. So user testing can be a great side gig just once in a while, and that's why I also wanted to share it here. I also do have a list of the best user testing platforms on my website. I'll leave a link to that below. If that's an option you like, then it's a good idea to sign up for several platforms because they don't have that many opportunities. So if you sign up for many, then you will more regularly find jobs. But let's now talk about some tips for getting hired for these different remote roles. So a few tips that can help you getting hired are, first of all, to have a short but tailored resume or CV ready. But make sure if you apply for positions that are part-time or full-time to always tailor it a little bit. That can very easily be done, but if you don't do it, you just send a general resume. I know that myself. I regularly hire people, and if people just send something where you can see they haven't even put any thought into what they're actually applying to, you will not have a chance. Always tailor it a little bit, have it ready so you can quickly change things around, because also you will likely be applying for a lot of remote jobs if you're going for the full-time ones. Maybe you're lucky to find it quickly, but definitely have this ready so you can quickly send it. Also, which brings me to the next tip, which is to reply quickly. And if there are any kind of tasks during the onboarding process, anything they ask you during the interview process, make sure to respond and take action quickly, because some companies, they just drop people that are not active enough. Again, I know that for myself, that when I'm looking for someone to help me out with something, if you get a quick reply, if they communicate properly, so that's another tip also, make sure to communicate properly, then there's a greater chance they will actually get hired. So speed and proper communication, another great tip. And then the last tip is to look for global versus country-specific options, because even though at remote jobs, there are some opportunities that are still where you have to be in a specific country or from a specific country. So being aware of this can also sometimes help you find opportunities that you didn't know were there. So for example, the platform I showed you, like FlexJobs, you can actually search for specific countries or you can search worldwide. So make sure to do both to increase your chances of finding the right job for you. And finally, I wanted to mention also that if what you're looking for is an online income where you can work completely on your own terms, where you're not dependent on getting hired by others, then one thing you can consider is to start your own online business instead. What I do recommend is to do it through affiliate marketing if you're starting from scratch. That's what I have done, so I know it actually works. And if that's something that sounds interesting to you, because you can then create a business where you can truly work completely on your own terms, then I'll leave a link below to more information about my top recommended way to do that and the exact steps that I have taken to achieve that myself. And also I have more information about some of these options on my website and will leave links to that below. So make sure to check that out. And also, if this video helped you, make sure to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out next time I release a video with tips and tricks about different ways to make money online.